Family and friends gathered to honor 16-year-old Janyia Wilson after she was shot and killed by her alleged boyfriend in Atmore. All of this happened late February. Since then, her great-aunt Tawana Thomas has coordinated a vigil, and her funeral happened Saturday.
Took a 16-year-old girl that had a future today, that we had to take her from the classroom to the cemetery. And no parent should be able to bury their child from gun violence.
"16-year-old Janyia Wilson was a vibrant young woman with a bright smile and a big heart. She was a creative young girl who loved exploring and expressing herself through fashion, from her clothes to her makeup to her hair. Every style she tried always looked great on her. Janyia was also a sophomore at Escambia County High School, where she was on the volleyball team. With a heart of gold and a beautiful spirit, Janyia was well ahead of her time. No one could have ever imagined that a light that shines so bright would soon be dimmed. Just before 10 p.m. on February 20th, police were called to an intersection on Carter Avenue for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would learn that a young girl was shot before being driven to a local hospital for treatment. The victim was identified as 16-year-old Janyia Wilson, who was taken to a local hospital where she would sadly succumb to her injuries. According to police, Janiyah's boyfriend opened fire inside of the vehicle near a Mike and Ike food market. Police say he then drove her to the hospital where she later died. Allegedly, Janyia was driving with her boyfriend, who was sitting in the back seat behind her. He was handling a gun, and according to him, it unexpectedly went off, shooting Janyia in the back. Authorities are still trying to tie things together and were unsure on whether anyone else was inside of the vehicle at the time. Janiyah's 16-year-old boyfriend, who has not been identified because of his age, was subsequently arrested and charged for her murder. Janiyah's family remains shaken and confused by this senseless act of violence. Her great aunt, with a strong message for the community, says it is her deepest hope that gun violence will not take another life, so that no one ever has to feel what their family is going through.
Thomas says she wants Janyia to be remembered for her heart.
Janyia was a very loving person. She was a very athletic person, and she met no strangers. And it's tragic what happened to her. It's a tragic what happened to the family. It was tragic what happened to both families.
As the wind blew through the balloons, her spirit was there. As the candles were lit, her spirit was there. Roughly a week after her passing, around 150 people, including family, friends, and even strangers, gathered for a candlelight vigil at Houston Avery Park, where attendees brought tea-light candles and purple, blue, and gold balloons. Loved ones and others shared words and a poem in memory of Janyia. The vigil served as a way to honor and celebrate a young life that was taken too soon, as well as to demonstrate a stand against gun violence. Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church pastor Charles Johnson said Janiyah's life being taken can be an example for someone else and encourage loved ones to hold on to the good times, times where laughter was abundant.
16-year-old girl shot and killed in Atmore was laid to rest today. The family's still looking for answers to why her life was taken and echoing the call to end gun violence. Friends and family said their final farewell to Janyia Wilson today. The 16-year-old lost her life after she was shot in a car in Atmore on February 20th. It happened near an intersection on Carver Avenue. Wilson's mother spoke to WEAR News Friday about her heartbreak.
My baby was well much loved, and that she'll do anything for everybody, anybody. She's my angel, my princess, my baby, my Janyia fire, and that she's a strong angel of all. And I just want justice for my baby, I really do.
Police say the suspect in the shooting, who is under 18 years old, drove Wilson to a hospital where she later died.
We just took a child from her mother. We have took a child out of the classroom to the cemetery. 16 years old, gun violence. This should never happen.
Relatives are shaken by the senseless act of gun violence.
All I know is my granddaughter is gone.
but I don't know the circumstances behind it. So.
A horse-drawn hearse led the procession from Greater Mount Triumph Missionary Baptist Church to Wilson's final resting place. Heads bowed in prayer wait for answers as the investigation continues. The suspect, who has not been identified, is charged with murder.
Janyia's 16-year-old boyfriend is being charged with murder as an adult and is being held at the Escambia County, Alabama Detention Center. Circumstances surrounding Janyia's death are still under investigation. The case remains ongoing.
We just wanted to come together that it may be able to reach someone else that may be put in a similar situation, that they can use this as a way of escaping or a way of just moving out of that situation.
The vigil was also a demonstration against gun violence.
Time for this town and towns all over the world to take control of gun violence, take control of not having these weapons to be accessible to the youth. I mean, we have to put them in a safe place. We have these in our homes. We have to put them in a safe place.